calm.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome back. We missed you last week. All of you.
Oh, were you not here?
Oh, you were here last week, weren't you?
We
No,
were
it was the
here.
week before. Of course.
It was
Sorry.
the week before, yeah.
I'm so sorry. The weeks just blur into
I know. Some
been so
drunk
many
keeps
now.
telling me how many
That's what it
weeks
is.
it is till Christmas.
Don't start with that.
I've still got
Christmas
birthdays. For me, it doesn't happen until I've got all the birthdays done in the year. So,
I know my daughter's, it's her friend's birthday tomorrow, so we went down to the town after school to pick up a little gift. I said, oh, well, we need to get her a card now. We're going to the card factory. And it's just Christmas cards.
I know. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare.
Still.
How are you supposed to stay mindful when you've got a shop full of Christmas stuff, Jim?
Absolutely.
That can be your homework. Don't ask me.
We phone each other up. I'm in a Christmas card shop getting a birthday card.
I'm mindful of my rage. Well, that might come up over the course of our chat this evening, because the topic is easy.
Yes.
But we'll do a little exercise first, and then we'll talk about easy. I can't remember if it's a topic that we've had before.
I can't agree.
I don't know. I know we've hinted at aspects of it, but there is new stuff that I thought of to talk about. So even if we have spoken about it before, there's new ground, new territory to break in. Okay, we'll do an exercise that we don't usually do, just to mix it up and have a bit of a change. So what I'd invite you to do is to just pick a spot somewhere on the wall or wherever, even on the floor, and just fix your gaze on that, and just allow your awareness in this moment to just focus on that and be aware of your peripheral vision coming more into view, and the fact that you can become aware of things on the extremities of your vision. Normally we have a very fixed and focused viewpoint, but actually if you stop and look, you can allow your awareness to extend. And then when you're ready, if you would like to, you can close your eyes and just bring your awareness to sound. And similarly, whilst you can be aware of the very close and obvious sound, allow your awareness of your hearing, your field of hearing, to just extend out. So, easy. Why did I choose easy? Well, I suppose I should begin by making an apology. In that there was an incident at the weekend, and I didn't respond to the situation. I reacted, and I lost my temper.
Oh.
I know, and I had a heated argument with my wife, and I got angry, and I have subsequently apologised to my better half. I suppose my apology now goes to, I don't need to apologise to you, but maybe my apology goes to the cosmos, an apology to myself. But I was surprised. I surprised myself at how easy it was to lose my temper
It is.
and get angry.
It's very, very simple.
And exactly, and that made me then think about the fact that it is so easy for all of those other negative things to happen. It's very easy to get upset about things. It's easy to get angry. It's easy to be sad, isn't it? It's easy to be in a depressed. I'm not saying that depression is easy, because it's not. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're feeling melancholic and it's easy to bring yourself down and to feel sad about things. And it's easy to. The other harmful activities that we do. I mean, before we sort of kicked off, we were talking about drinking, weren't we? And the fact that it's easy to find yourself drinking too much. Whilst you maybe are not getting paralytic all the time even, it's easy to fall into that trap of just having 1 or 2 glasses of something more than you should. It's easy to eat badly and abuse yourself in that way. All those negative things, it's very easy to do. Which kind of makes it really frustrating, isn't it? When actually what you want, or what you would like, should I say, that's a better phrase, what you would like is to be peaceful and still and happy and satisfied and accepting and aware. And yes, that's not easy. It's not easy to be aware. It's not easy to stay in the present moment. It's not easy to enjoy peace. It's not easy to enjoy that joy that I'm not talking about. Just
Peace of mind is
yeah,
what you're trying to achieve.
all of that you would like, that you would wish to be able to, the ways that you wish that you could be, are not easy. Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be that way round? Yeah, and I suppose you could go down some theological route and talk about the fact that you have to work for it and all that kind of thing. But I started looking at it from more of a psychological viewpoint. All those different aspects. So thinking about the instant gratification, the tendency to steer yourself towards unhealthy foods, the tendency to get upset and angry about things. And the reason why it's so easy is because the part of us that makes that so easy is the primal part of us, isn't it? That primal it's not really even instinct, because instinct is, I think, something different. But thinking in terms, say, the food side of things, there's something in our primal makeup that makes us crave those sugary, high energy foods, because they give you that hit and you get that energy rush from them. And that's a primal thing. That goes way back to when we would have to expend vast amounts of energy to try and hunt and gather our food. And if there was a source of something that gave us an immediate and instant hit, we would steer ourselves towards that. So there's an element of that, and also the survival instincts, the way that we react to danger and to threat and things is to fight it. And so it's easy because unfortunately human beings are sort of hardwired, aren't we, towards that. We're hardwired to get angry. We're hardwired to seek instant gratification. Are we hardwired to feel sad about things? Maybe we're hardwired to feel hard done to. Maybe we're hardwired to pick up on the negative a lot of the time.
It's a scary thought.
It is, isn't it? It is a scary thought. But the more you think about it, it almost seems that way. People do focus a lot on the negative. Now, whether that's because looking at the mundane day-to-day business, there is a lot to be negative about. Whether that's Christmas cards in the shops at the end of September, beginning of October, or the requests that our friends and family make upon us to take us places, or the fact that exactly, all the stuff
I don't watch
that gets
stuff like that.
reported, because there is if you do make a judgment on things like that and say this is good, that's bad, generally speaking, you would probably label more things as being bad and being good.
And that's all you get.
Yeah.
You only get the negative.
Yeah. And
Well,
for a
even
long
music,
time.
a lot of music's not exactly uplifting.
No, but
It used to be.
But that's
a lot more.
well,
uplifting.
it did. Yes, it did. Back in the day. You get me talking about Happy
We
Mondays
touched
again,
on
which is
that
where I
last
was
week.
last week. That was a much more uplifting time. But that was on the back of something else, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You think about what was going on in the world at the end of the 80s and the beginning of the 90s, when we were all sick to death of Thatcher and all the stuff that we'd had to go through the 80s. That we wanted that. We wanted to go to raves and seek that instant gratification. get that. Again, it's that hardwired. Let's get a hit of gratification now. So all of that is incredibly easy, which is frustrating when that's not, when your ultimate goal is for something more uplifting. And I suppose the reason why all of that is easy, and I've talked about it because it's the primal urges. I won't call them instincts because they're more urges, because I have a lot of faith in instinct. I think instinct has a part to play. You have to trust your instincts. Certainly, I'm coming at it from a creative perspective. If you're creative and you're creating things, you've got to be instinctive about it. If you're drawing or making music or whatever, or even writing, there's an instinctive thing that you have to allow to just come out. But I'm talking more about those primal urges. And they kick in so quickly. When something happens and our senses transfer that information to the brain, those primal urges are the first things that kick in. Well, I've had a bad day, I'm going to have a drink. Oh, I've had a bad day, I'm going to go and buy the biggest bar of chocolate I can possibly find in the shop and just eat all of it myself. I've had a bad day, I'm going to shout at the wife, or, you know, shout at the kids, or kick the dog. Or, yeah, exactly. It's those primal urges that are the first things to respond. And I suppose and that's why it's easy, because that's the first destination, that's the first point that gets to have its say. But as we have discovered through our mindful exercises, that actually the real you, the real me, the real us, sits slightly above that. You know, we talk about the observer, we talk about that that unchanging, still aspect to our being that is the core of our essence, if you like, that sits above those primal urges. That isn't so obtrusive. It isn't able, is it, to at an immediate level kick in and go, hang on, calm down, primal urges. And that's where the effort comes in. That's where the effort comes in, because we have to make a conscious decision then to switch our awareness away from those primal urges to that part of our being which it isn't persuasive, is it? You know, if you make that split, those primal urges are incredibly persuasive. Go and buy that, you know, get that chocolate, have a drink, get angry, because you'll get instant gratification from it, and you know, you'll feel better. But for how long?
Till you realise you've been an idiot.
Well, that's it, you know. 5 seconds, couple of hours if you're lucky, till you wake up in the morning with a hangover, I don't know. But it's the primal side is very persuasive. And almost, you know, that's the one that has its hands on the controls. And the effort, the difficulty is that for when we're seeking to experience and be in the moment, you have to transfer that awareness to that other part of your being that is, you know, the part of your being that has that stillness, but doesn't have, it's not as persuasive, it's not as, it is the observer, it's set back. It isn't able to grasp hold of the controls and make rash decisions. And that's why it's not easy, because it takes that intervention. And you know how hard it is to intervene. You know, when you see somebody behaving in a way that you know is not productive, that's the diplomatic phrase for it. It's difficult to intervene and to persuade. It's easier, it is easier if you can be mindful of that situation, if you can go into that mindfully and illuminate. But intervention and persuasion is a difficult business. And yet we have to try and do that all the time. Intervene with ourselves and persuade ourselves that Christmas cards in October is not a reason to
lose your cool.
Yeah, to have a meltdown in Card Factory, as much as we would like to have them. That's just the primal urges. Even the cavemen were having meltdowns in Card Factory in October. Actually, no, they couldn't have been, because Christmas was kind of
There wasn't a Christmas.
There wasn't really a Christmas, was
No.
there? Thinking about it, you know, if we're going to start getting historical about this, we've kind of only really had a couple of thousand years of Christmas, and even then we didn't really have it until somebody decided that we needed to have Christmas. So no, certainly the cavemen didn't have Christmas. But if they did, and they had Card Factory, and Card Factory, no. But yeah, so that almost that requirement to be able to intervene and persuade ourselves to shift our awareness away from being under the control of those primal urges and actually towards that, whatever we want to call it, that higher element of our being, isn't easy, and it's difficult. But as we know, it can be done. It's simple to do. There are simple techniques that we can do. You know, we've done it where we've practiced breathing and engaging the senses, and we know that all of those things are things that we can practice in order to make that step easier. But above and beyond that, I don't at this point in time know what the answer is, other than all we can do is keep practicing and keep practicing and just keep reminding ourselves that we are able to intervene. We're always able, we always have the capacity, regardless of what's gone on before, we always maintain that capacity to be able to intervene and bring our awareness to the present moment and shift it away from those primal urges that steer us towards negative and harmful reactions. But it's a difficult one. Does anybody have anything that they wish to?
I just want to say the last time I lost my cool was with that guy who told me off for driving. How many months ago was that?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was a long time ago. I don't lose my cool.
I haven't for a long time.
No. That was
some
that,
people can press my buttons.
it
but
still makes me laugh every time I think about it, because it was so ridiculous and so pathetic, and it wasn't worth losing goal over.
But it was incredibly easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, just
really easy.
get on with
Yeah.
it. But that was the last time I really lost my cool. It was just for a fraction of a second.
And it is so easy to stew over things.
I used to lose it a lot more.
I was
Especially when I
very
ran
fiery
pubs.
when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
Very fiery when I was younger. Some of it I don't even like to think about.
I don't do too bad. But I know there's room for improvement. And I'm striving towards that. I won't say I'm trying, because trying implies failure. I'm doing my best. I'm striving towards it. Keep practicing.
I think as
Always
well,
breathe.
my husband had a hell of a temper on him.
Right.
And so did I when we were first married. And it was a bit dangerous if we both lost our temper at the same time. And I was more easily able to deal with staying calm than he was. And after 43 years it becomes a habit. One of us had to give, else it was going to get really nasty. And it was something I learned to deal with. And it just, once it becomes a habit, it's easier to just let it go.
Well, the thing that I became acutely aware of when I lost my temper the other day was the fact that I achieved absolutely nothing.
Probably felt lots
Except
of
making
it.
I felt absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I felt
That's exactly right.
I felt, and I felt terribly guilty for it.
The whole thing just becomes very negative, doesn't it?
But that's in terms of the fact that I was trying to get a point across. Failed completely. Absolutely failed dismally to convince my wife of my viewpoint. Absolutely failed.
Yeah.
And just made myself look like a complete
Thing is,
idiot.
once you lose your temper, you've lost the argument.
Yeah, completely.
But that's all very well when you think about it afterwards.
But you can make an argument better than if you didn't have it to begin with, depending on how you handle the aftermath. Some of the best customers I've ever had from restaurants and things like that, so when a situation has happened and then how you go about rectifying it, then you can actually do a lot more. And I'm not saying go out there and mess things up, just to go and sort of like, you know, to make them better again. But sometimes there's great positive in
you can
making
diffuse the situation and make it better, can't you?
Make it better, yeah. Bit of alchemy.
Don't poison the restaurant customers.
But yes, you can make it all so much better.
And that always happens from a mindful place, doesn't it? Because when you are required to do that, you have to be in the moment. You have to be able to assess the situation, be aware of being able to read that customer, read the situation, and know the most appropriate response. You know, that then comes back to that whole thing about reaction and response. And suddenly you then find yourself in a mindful place, responding in the most appropriate and productive way. And as you say, then when they see that response, they go, actually, and then you go right up in terms of their estimations. Yeah, so maybe there is something to be said for mindfulness after the storm.
You can't always let it go. It happens without you realising. It's how you put it right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you can't.
We're human after all.
Well, that's it. You can't stop, but you can't stop other people losing their temper.
You can't control anyone.
You can't control. No, exactly. You can't control anybody.
You shouldn't really want to try and control anyone either.
No, well, you just can't.
Yeah.
So there's no point in wanting to be able to, because you can't. And so allowing somebody to lose their temper is actually a very mindful thing to do, because you're mindful of the fact that you can't control them, and that is their right, their decision, and their right to explode. And all you can do is be mindful after the storm. Because, you know, it's that whole thing.
Or stand warning for a couple of days.
I'll just pack your bags and leave.
That works as well.
My daughter always used to say to me, I didn't have to tell her off. I didn't have to say anything. It was just the look.
Absolutely.
I only had to look.
I'm afraid my face doesn't lie either.
Oh no, it's usually writ large all over me. My stepfather has an eyebrow. There's one eyebrow that goes up.
Right.
And when that one went up, you knew.
You knew.
It's not, oh no, now.
But there's some people who just enjoy causing
Oh, some people,
yes, they
do.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they really... And they'll hold it for months.
And that's that primal urge thing.
Yeah.
That's that primal urge thing, and for them, because it's a power thing.
Yeah.
For them, pushing people's buttons and creating a situation is a power thing.
Yeah.
It's them exerting their influence and exerting their power.
So they say to me, why didn't you? Well, don't let them do that to you. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? But that's not me.
Yeah, I steer clear of people like that.
I don't like
just can't be asked for stuff. But no, I don't like confrontation. There's no need for it.
It just makes you look an idiot. If you can just stand back and look at them and you think, you're just looking such an idiot.
I mean, it's normal every now and again. We all have our moments. That's normal. But some people, when it's consistent all the time,
I know a guy.
Yeah.
it's like, gosh, just relax.
I know a guy, and he does that, and he will just say things that are inflammatory, just because he can.
He can.
To get a reaction.
And to get a reaction, just poke, and he upsets people left, right, and centre.
And I bet he thinks it's a laugh.
And it doesn't bother him at all.
My son's
Maybe he's a sociopath.
My son's
Quite
like
possibly.
What,
Is
the
your
car?
son a sociopath?
that. Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
He'll definitely have to come back and have another go. Several times, I think.
But apparently we're all on that scale somewhere.
Yes. He's down with Caliban.
Right.
Bless him.
Well, on that note, let's breathe. I shall invite the bowl to sound. And you may close your eyes if you wish and bring the awareness to the breath. And just be aware of the air entering the body, leaving the body, and then that short pause in between. And for the next few breaths, I just invite you to follow that cycle, and to just be aware of the breath, moment by moment. Return to our body. We breathe out and smile. Breathe in and feel alive. Breathe out and smile. And then allow that smile to dissolve into the pause between breaths. For each brief moment in that pause, to just be absolutely aware of the stillness. In that pause between breaths, we are only aware of stillness of mind, stillness of body. said a moment ago I didn't know the answer, but I do on tonight. So I was doing some, it's just come back to me. So I was doing some writing in the week, just about breath. And the fact that when we do that, and you rest in the pause between breaths, and that's the only thing you're aware of, you just absolutely focus all of your awareness purely on that pause, and just are aware of the stillness and everything. And then there are no thoughts. You're not thinking anything. You know, if your mind does wander and you've been distracted by thoughts, you just bring it back to the breath and they disappear. There are no thoughts. And that's when you can cut through all that primal rubbish. Now that's when the fear disappears. Because fear is only a thought.
That's what you said last week, and you've got no idea the difference that's made to me.
Really?
I've been struggling for quite a few weeks
Right,
with severe anxiety.
right.
Panic attacks.
Yeah.
I used to get those.
And they're frightening.
Yeah,
But the fear, more than anything, is a fear of it happening.
yeah,
And that fear of them happening then causes them to happen. But fear is only a thought.
that's what you said. And
Fear is not real. And then as soon as you can bring your awareness purely and absolutely to your breath, or the pause between breaths,
yeah,
and there is no thought, then if there is no thought, then there is no
there's
fear.
no fear. And that's what I've been working with this week.
As soon as we left here last week, didn't you? You said to me, something Jim said tonight has made me really, it's really hit me.
Oh,
And
thank
that was
you.
it.
Good.
That's good.
That was
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
you know, I only see you once a week, don't I?
Yeah.
Or twice a week,
Yeah.
like tonight. But the difference.
Absolutely, it has made a huge difference.
Good. Well, that's why we do this.
Yeah.
This is
Yes, absolutely.
That's exactly why we
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
And if there's, if I only ever say one thing over the course of a year
Yeah.
that has any resonance with
It
just
just
one
brought
person,
the focus to,
then it's
you know, how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it has made a huge difference.
Good. Well, I'm very pleased to hear
Yeah.
that. I'm pleased to hear that.
Yeah,
Good.
See, that's very positive.
very
That
positive.
is positive.
Absolutely.
There is some positivity in the world.
Yeah.
Right, go and write your Christmas cards.
Yes.
Oh.
I